Well, it is now time for our weekly weather segment with Nebraska Extension Ag climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Well, Al, another mild week here after the time change last weekend. As the days get longer, are we going to see the weather become more spring-like?
Well, Bryce, we did see some very warm temperatures during the early part of the week, and of course we've seen the storm system move through Thursday and Friday, and we got another one on Monday and Tuesday. And when you combine all the precipitation from those, it looks like a broad area of the central and southern plains, especially the southern half of Nebraska, is going to see some significant moisture if everything pans out as the models are currently forecasting. We've accumulated some pretty significant deficits this winter in terms of precipitation, so it is encouraging that we're starting to see more spring-like weather developing, particularly to our south where they've basically been in drought conditions since late last summer. This shall help bring some of these short-term departures at least back to normal. We're still working on some of those longer-term deficits that we've accumulated since late last summer. So if we look at the upper air model, the first thing we'll draw your attention to is that we got this large system that's going to start to sweep across the country. But this weekend is going to be very nice in advance of that trough moving in from the west. We're going to be looking at widespread 70s across the state, and we'll start to see the winds picking up as we get closer to the event on Monday. Pretty much high pressure is in control across the southern plains. The system that impacted us during the latter half of the week is now moving over to the eastern United States, and by the time we get into Sunday, this upper air low is going to dig very deep. That's going to bring a big fetch of moisture northward, and depending on the speed of this system is going to really impact how significant the moisture is for the southern half of Nebraska and points to the south. We get into Monday, this system starts to lift out into the plains region, so this fetch of moisture will wrap around this system, can bring widespread precipitation to at least the southern half of the state as we go on Monday, and that we can see that starting to spread toward the north and toward the east. Most of northern Nebraska looks like to be much drier than the southern part of the state. Now on Tuesday, this trough starts to open up somewhat, but the surface low will be up near Kansas City. That should wrap that moisture around and toward the west, and that should give us some upslope flow conditions across western Nebraska. See a mixture of rain and snow with more snow toward the Dakotas. On Wednesday, the system basically peters out somewhat. We do see some cold air coming into the backside of it. The surface low gets far away from the main trough in the Ohio River Valley, but we still should spread some moisture up into this region with severe weather across the southeast. Light snowfall activity on the backside of this low. Doesn't look like anything significant yet in terms of accumulations. On Thursday, we're going to get that northwest flow on the backside of this trough with a little cooler conditions. So enjoy this weekend. We're going to see temperatures are going to be back down to more normal conditions in the 50s as we get the second half of the week. And by Friday, we start to dig upper our trough. So we're going to see a couple pieces of energy pivot around this. Cooler conditions. It does look like be a surface low development in northeastern Colorado that should aid for some convergence, but right now most of the major precipitation is going to stay up to our northwest. 8 to 14-day forecast is indicating warmer conditions building into the western United States with the cool conditions moving to the east of us. And in terms of precipitation, much drier conditions are anticipated by the models, at least from precipitation standpoint, with very dry conditions. I will say this, however, there is another storm system on the GFS model that looks like it's going to come in the 26th, 27th. If that verifies, this is way overdone in terms of dryness. It looks like we could see another widespread precipitation event. So overall, we're thankful for the precipitation chances as we go forward, and it does look like the active pattern will continue at least into the early part of April.